Hey, my friend, I am 4 weeks away from the Sinister 700 miler 2019, so I figured it was probably about time for me to finish the Sinister 700 miler 2018. Michelle and I actually sat down about a week after the race last year and did a little bit of commentary. So I've worked some of that footage in, I've worked some footage from the Crow's Nest Pass and our travels all the way down there. So drop me a comment, let me know what you think. Let me know if you're coming to Sin 7 this year or if you were there last year. All right, I hope you enjoy this one.
All right, we should just do this.
All right, let's talk about Sinister 7.
Yeah.
When I decided to sign up for the Sinister 700 miler, I really had no idea what I was getting into. I had run a 30-mile ultramarathon before, and I had run a 50-mile ultramarathon, but not anything even close to 100 miles, let alone 100 miles with 20,000 feet of elevation in it. So this was going to be an entirely new experience for me. The drive down was fantastic. We kind of took the long way and popped into Golden. Once we got there, Thursday there was a sort of street market with Tynan Grove's local musician was playing. So we kind of wandered and browsed and just really enjoyed the day.
Summertime and the living is easy.
As you can hear, Tynan is quite talented.
Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your daddy's
We browsed the knickknacks, kind of hung out in the sun. My buddy Dave Proctor was running across Canada, attempting to set a world record, raising funds and awareness for rare disease in Canada. I'd been doing a daily interview with him, and we knew race weekend was going to be a little challenging to do that, but I was pretty determined to try and make it happen. So yeah, come 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, well, it was actually probably 6:30. We showed up nice and early. We were staying at an Airbnb on the east side of town. Michelle's great with directions. So.
Yes, the east side.
So it was away from where I think most people were coming from, which gave us a bit of an advantage as far as finding parking and that kind of thing. Although again, we were super early.
We were there at 6 actually because we had breakfast, right?
Yeah, so we were there super early. The Stone's Throw Cafe was open. We had a coffee and just kind of puttered around and waited for everybody to sort of trickle in to the start area. And I had my GoPro out and I was sort of milling around. We'll work some footage of that. And I felt reasonably calm until probably they started making announcements on the PA about time to start, and we were 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, as they started counting down. And at that point, I kind of started freaking out a little bit. Shit became very real, and I think I must have sort of dwelled on the number a little bit because. Leg 1's 17 kilometers. That's not a big deal. I can run 17 kilometers, but I had a little bit of not quite a panic attack, but I was definitely starting to freak out a little bit. At this point, milling around the start line, the nerves were pretty high. All right, here we go. fun to think that in just 4 short weeks I'm going to be back there.
Holy fuck, am I scared.
Yeah, this was the only stretch of the race where we hit road. It was a very brief section. This part is in leg 2, the audio is terrible.
It's into leg 2.
The views were just spectacular. And of course, running into friends on the trail is always an added bonus.
How you doing, brother?
How are you, Mike? Not that.
Leg 2 really was a lot of fun. Nice and runnable. Going into leg 3 was when I was hoping to talk to Dave Proctor. He was somewhere around Calgary that day, so I thought it'd be super cool if we could do the interview while I was out on course as well.
Mr. Mike, how you doing, man? I'm doing all right, buddy. I'm just slugging up the stretch of leg 3. Right up, boy. You on leg 3? Are you up on St. Sack, or where are you? No, I just got started about 15 minutes ago. Yeah, okay, great.
So I talked to Dave for about 10 minutes, and then this was, I think, the summit of leg 4. I ended up running with this young fella for a bit, and then realized that probably I was not running my race, I was not running at my pace. Yeah, it was just too windy to hear anything. The views were just spectacular. So that was kind of the summit of leg 4, and the rest was pretty much like Forest Servicery Road. And that was when we had an ATV drive by and lean over and said, yeah, there was a bear sighting a little further ahead. And then they took off, and I'm like, okay, so what the hell do I do with that? Does that mean run faster? Does it mean run slower? Does it mean stop running altogether? So I looked around because I was by myself, and there was a lady behind me a ways back. So I slowed down a little bit and waited for her to catch up, so at least we could run in tandem. And we came in to transition area 4-5, and that was the end of the footage that I got. Had some meatballs in transition area 4-5, and then took off on leg 5, and leg 5 was fantastic. It was pitch dark. When you turned off the lights, you could see stars all over the place. The first probably 10 kilometers were relatively flat, and I felt strong. I was running like a good, solid 10K pace, or at least it felt like that. Somewhere on leg 5, one of the aid stations had sort of a disco rave theme, so they had music going, they had laser lights, they had a disco ball. It was absolutely fantastic. And I got to see Harold Hagen out there, which was pretty cool. So thank you to all of the volunteers out there that did that. I'm looking forward to getting out there again this year. But as I said, that was the end of the footage.
Stepping out, it's Friday night. How I'm longing for this day.
Favorite moment? Crossing the finish line. Second favorite moment? Hitting the top of 6. That was amazing. That was amazing. And then on leg 5, I turned off the headlamp and just looked up. Beautiful, clear night. Nothing but stars all around. It was so crisp, so sharp. no light pollution from anywhere. It was amazing. Yeah, it was absolutely amazing.
Worst moments?
Same as the best moment. When I realized that I wasn't going to finish under 50 hours. But I also knew I was going to finish.
Tell you right now, 'cause she's the one I'm thinking of. Hey, the only one I'm thinking of. Hey, she's everything I'm dreaming of. Hey, the one that I can live without. She's the one I'm thinking of. Hey, the only one I'm thinking of. Hey, she's everything I'm dreaming of. Hey, the one that I can live without. Can live without. Time after time after time.
Hey Mike, why do your feet look like shit?
Because I just ran 100 miles, bitches.
Yes, you did. How's it feel?
Well,
Anticlimactic?
no, it feels fucking painful is what it feels. But it feels pretty awesome.
So there you had it. I finished. I ran 100 miles, but it took me 31 hours and 56 minutes when the cutoff time was 30 hours. I ended up with trench foot really badly, so I was not moving all that well. On the top of leg 6, my feet sort of split, and I could feel them split. At that point, I thought they were blisters. Ended up seeing a medic at checkpoint 6C who bandaged my feet. I asked him to bandage my blisters. He took everything off and looked at it and said, "Yeah, those aren't blisters, that's trench foot." Michelle went back to transition area 6-7 to cheer me in, and I had to be in there by noon. She ended up coming out on course, I don't know, maybe 750 meters out from transition area 6-7 to cheer me in. And I said to her, I got nothing left. Like, I've got nothing left. I don't think I can do this. And she said, no, you're good. You got about 250 meters to go, and then we're down the bank and we're into the transition area. And so we ran for a little bit more, and I looked at her, I said, this isn't 250 meters. She says, well, here's the thing. You know I'm shitty with distance, right? And I said, oh, geez, there's no way we're gonna make it in time. Because she told me, I think we had 19 minutes left. I said, there is no way I'm gonna make it by cutoff. She said, well, here's the thing. I actually lied to you about the timing as well. You've got 12 minutes left. Move your ass. Let's do this, Cameron. So, long story short, I hustled. I got in with 9 minutes to spare before they cut me off at after leg 6. I got back out on leg 7, and I finished the 100 miles. And I've got to give credit to Brian, the race director, and all of the crew who left the finishing arch up for me. I am so grateful for that. It was an absolutely amazing experience, and everybody, I choke up thinking about it, everybody that stuck around from Edmonton to cheer me across that finish line. You guys, I can't tell you how much that meant to me. I was 2 hours after everybody else had finished, and a good chunk of my friends, as you saw, stuck around to cheer me across the finish line. So it was an amazing, humbling experience, and I cannot wait to go back there in 4 weeks from today to do this and crush this under 30 hours. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and stick around if you want to see some of the, if you want to see what my feet look like. You may not want to, but if you want to see what my feet look like, you are welcome to stick around. Alright guys, thanks for watching.
I'm spending money like I just got paid. $100 bills, tell them keep the change. Come on. Pop a bottle, about to make it rain. Let me give you something now to celebrate. Come on.
Big fat piggy sticking out.
And if you're wondering why I move the way I do, I just feel so good, good, good. Oh, I just feel so good, good.